They inserted misoprostol right into my back passage. They passed urinary catheter to monitor my urinary output. At this point, my blood pressure was dropping. I already mentioned that I had high blood pressure in pregnancy and I was on antihypertensive, but up to the time when I delivered, my blood pressure was still in the 150s. At this point, my blood pressure dropped. If you're a medic, you know that and you're losing lots of fluids in your body, then your blood pressure would drop. They were saying to my husband that if the bleeding doesn't stop, they will have to take me to theater and find the source of the bleed. At this point, they were just doing manual exploration of my womb, bringing out the gungs. So between placenta and everything, they were just basically like trying to find out what was going on. As God will have it, the bleeding stopped and I was still put on observation till the following day. By observation, I mean they were checking on my blood pressure, my respiratory rates, oxygen saturation, up until the following day, guys. It was a traumatic experience. It happened in a facility where they had all hands were on deck, and they had all these medications, and they were quite experienced and well versed in managing bleeding after delivery. So, and the reason I'm making this video because some women in developing countries would rather prefer to go to a traditional birth attendant instead of going to the hospital, a proper hospital. And this is not just, you should always make your findings. Instead of going to proper hospitals who are well equipped in managing post-delivery complications like this, a lot of things can happen after delivery. You could have eclampsia after delivery. Eclampsia is basically fitting after delivery. I've heard
skyrocketing. Oh, she's having an eclamptic seizure. Look, we just take it for a C-section now. I wish she complained.
Of horror stories whereby they saw a woman throwing fits. Fit is basically seizures, like fitting after delivery, and they felt that it was an evil spirit that was at work. Instead of them to manage this lady appropriately with IV magnesium sulfate, they took her to church where she unfortunately passed away. So we keep hearing a lot of these horror stories. So which is why I decided to share my own story. If I had gone to a traditional birth attendant in a developing country, who knows what would have happened? Probably I wouldn't be here today to share my own story. So guys, I hope you guys found this video useful. Share this video as many times as you want, because you might actually be helping someone without even knowing it. Thanks so much for watching.
This board contains most of the interventions that took place that night, and this was me the following morning. I had been to heaven and beyond, and this was what I looked like in the morning after. So I was discharged home on blood thinners, and the reason was because preeclampsia and postpartum hemorrhage and even pregnancy itself could increase one's risk of blood clots, and if that blood clot should go to the heart, it can cause a heart attack. If it went to the brain, it would cause a stroke.